Hello everybody. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. We're going to let some people get in. Hey J-Dog, welcome in. Yeah, like I said, we're just going to wait for a few more minutes until we get more people in. But hope you all are having a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Also, we'll do a quick test run. Can everybody hear me okay? For those who are in, can everybody hear me okay? Alright, we've given it about 5-ish minutes since the stream started, so we're going to go ahead and get started on the sketch. As most of y'all can see, as far as later posts and whatnot, we are today drawing Alphys from Undertale. She is the next in the collection. I do apologize for a little bit of the ruckus. My audio is still a little messed up. Anywho, let's get started on the sketch. I want to work on the back of her head first. She definitely has an interesting design, and I'm not really used to drawing characters like this. So this will definitely be a challenge for today's stream. Yeah, you're definitely gonna cook on this, Lorena. Thanks, J-Dog. Monty, thank you for joining in. It's great to see you. Now for everyone here, I can hold a vote for you guys. Since Alphys has essentially like two designs, one in her dress and one in her lab coat, I'm curious to which y'all would like to see. Would you like to see her in the lab coat, or would you like to see her in the dress? Just go ahead and put it in the comments once y'all have made up your minds. I'm doing a lab coat sketch right now, but I can always alter it to the dress if y'all are interested. Raymond, thank you for joining in. Just finished up assembling a Barney Calhoun cosplay. That's awesome. I really hope it goes well. And I bet it looks amazing. I think that one looks better. Okay, we can dim that down a little bit and then get on to more of the rough sketch with the line, more firmer line bits. And then I can work in the actual part of it in just a moment. And I've heard from some people in the comments that they wanted just her iconic lab coat, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with the design of what I have now. Though I will be adding a small little feature, if possible, hence to the polka dots on her dress in the actual canon show. Or not show, game. I've seen way too many comic dub animations to sometimes where I call it a show by accident. Hope all is well. Yes, all is well. Thank you very much, Raymond. I hope y'all are enjoying the music and just the relaxing vibe that we're going to have tonight. Summer Child, thank you so much for joining in. It's great to have you. Oh, the art is so pretty. Thank you so much. I've always found Alphys to be one of my favorites. Even though they are an annoying character, I've always loved their cute designs and like the fandoms and different universes they make her in. I've always loved like the science type characters. I can only hope that the art will come out just as good as it usually does for her design. I look-y love the glasses. I have no idea where the character's from. So this is Dr. Alphys. She is from Undertale. Alphys is a renowned scientist to the king of the underground, Asgore Dreamer. She's the one that invented Metaton. If you're aware of Undertale, then that's where she's from. But if you're not aware, I will gladly talk about any part of it. But if you have any character suggestions of what I should draw on stream or that I should post later on throughout this week, go ahead and put in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear your ideas. I finished Art Fight for the year. Wow, it was fun. I'm so glad it was fun for you. I bet it was quite a lot, though. Hope you didn't get attacked too much, Raymond. But no, I'm also streaming to YouTube and Instagram as of tonight. But I will be later streaming on TikTok as well as Twitch. Because I do have a Twitch, I just don't use it much. But most of my stuff will be uploaded to YouTube. Oh, is it a game? I think I've heard of it. Yes, it is a video game. The creator is Toby Fox. CJ Taylor. Hello, CJ. Welcome in. It's great to have you in. Also, hello back. I might play it, but yet again, my friends are in so many different fandoms, video games, shows, books, literally any form of entertainment, and I'm stuck trying to watch, play, and read all of them. Yeah, no, I completely get that. I have friends that are the exact same way. It is quite a challenge having to catch up with everybody. But personally, I do it at my own pace. So, again, if you are ever interested in playing the game, I can recommend it to you. But it's just merely a recommendation, nothing more. If you don't want to get into the fandom just yet, you can enjoy the playlist, which is on Spotify. You can just look up Toby Fox Undertale, and I can even put a link in the chat for you if you're interested. at this point. I have a schedule. No, I get you. I get you. Yeah, having a schedule for having to learn bits of the fandoms or little anything about them. Yeah, but no, I myself am stuck in a ton of fandoms as well. I don't indulge myself in them a lot, but I still enjoy them from time to time. I'm very interested. Do you know where I can download the game? It should be on Steam. But there's also simulators of it on any forms of like internet browsers to where you can simulate some of the boss fights so you can get a gist of how to play. But no, there are a ton of ways to download the games. That's the thing. This game doesn't really require a lot, but it is a lot of fun to get into. Because I think, if I remember correctly, there are 3 routes you can take. There's one being the genocide route, where you kill everything. There's the pacifist route, where you kill nothing. And there's the neutral route, where you kill some characters or not. But no. If you want me to go into more detail about it, I will gladly do so without trying to spoil anything of the game. Of course, anytime. Gotta help out people who love fandoms. Genocide. Yeah, there is a genocide route where you kill every single thing in the game. And it does increase your ability and does increase your power, but the story does not end well, let's say it like that. But each route has an alternate ending. And the game can last for quite a long time, so it doesn't. I lost my train of thought. I didn't know what I was gonna say. But no. It doesn't take much for the game. It's just a lot of fun. For those who like a challenge but are not wanting to stay in a certain thing for long, it is definitely, I do recommend it. And yes, as for some of you asking, these are on multiple different layers. They're not on all the same layer. And at the end of the stream, I usually host a small, or ask a small question for you guys of how many layers do you think this art piece took? And most of the time it usually ranges around like 20 frames or whatnot, but sometimes they can go up to 30 or sometimes even 60 at some points, depending on how much detail goes into it or how many sections are to the drawing itself. Is it the game with the skeleton guy who fights that girl? You know what I'm talking about? There's a song. Yes, that is what you're thinking of. The song you're probably thinking of is Stronger Than You or Determination. Both are by fan-made. Both of those songs are fan-made. They are not by original creators. But Toby Fox actually approved those. Sounds crazy. Yeah. No, it is a little crazy. But the game is a lot of fun. Yeah. And if you want to get a little closer look on what Alphys looks like besides my design, it is an older kind of style pixelated game because a fun fact about Toby Fox, he made this game in his bedroom. Like, he made all the programming, all the music, everything with just a keyboard and a computer. And this is the original design of Alphys. But no, I'm kind of proud of how this is turning out. I've hardly ever drawn Alphys, but I've loved looking at fan art of her, and I'm really glad she popped up on my spin the wheel for the next in the collection. Since I've already done Undyne, Metaton, Papyrus, Frisk, Kara, Toriel, and Azriel, along with Grilby from the last stream. Line art is almost finished. Still can't fathom how good there it is. Oh, thank you so much, Summer. I really appreciate it. Cries and traditional artist who cannot draw digital art for the life of me. Well, okay, that's the thing that I like about the certain setup that I'm using. I am using a Wacom tablet, which actually has the same feel as paper. So for those traditional artists that want to go into digital, I do recommend it. And Sketchbook, the software that I'm using for this drawing, is absolutely free. Unless you want to do Pro, because then I think that is an extra $19. But it is not that bad. It's not paid monthly, it is only a one-time pay, and then you get all these brushes and style bits that you can use in your art. But no, I do recommend a Wacom, and you can buy them on the internet, you can buy them on Amazon. Even Wacom has their own website. And if you want to know how to spell Wacom, it is Wacom. I'm also putting it on the screen so you can see that. And they offer a variety of different little tablets, styluses, or even computers themselves that still have that pencil-like feel. And it's also the same for painting. It actually can provide a smooth surface for those who are also traditional painters. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot about the tail. We can't forget Alphys's tail. I think one of her original designs before this was released is that she had spikes on her tail, but her Monstroid kind of look actually represents more of a lizard rather than a dragon. I had an apple tablet with an apple pen thingy in my thingamabob, and they suffered a gruesome fate. I will look into those tablets. Yeah, so actually, with the Wacom, the stylus is Bluetooth as well as the tablet, and it does provide on the inside. It provides three different stylus tips, and they will wear out over time. But there's always more on the Wacom website to where you can get extras. Hello, welcome in. It's great to have you on the stream. This is one reason why I like a little small community and I'm not really going for anything big. I like chatting with y'all. Okay, we're sitting at the 30-minute mark, and here's what we got so far. We've gotten from the rough sketch to the layout to the line art. Yeah, here's what we got. There's our little Alphys. Now, we already have our color palette, so we're just going to go ahead and start working on the coloring bits, which I'm going to find any open lines on the drawing so I do not mess this up. Because knowing me, I will by mistake. If any y'all spot lines that I'm missing, please point them out in chat. Okay, we can go ahead and start filling in her color. Now at this point, all we gotta do is just trust the process and it will all come together. Yep, I knew I'd miss at least one line. Actually, I think it being a little shorter actually looks better. Let me adjust this a little bit and I can work with this. Shrink the eraser, don't want that screwing everything up. Here we go. That actually looks a lot better since her little thorns are closer to her head. Anyways. I don't think Alphys has a designated eye color, so I'm just going to go ahead and fill in that iris as black. There we go. And I'll work on the edit of it later in just a moment. Let's see. Anybody else join in? Envy! Welcome in! Great to see you, girl. No. Here we are. We got our little Alphys. And since her coat is just already white, I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it in to be white. I'm only gonna do a darker tone so I know that every bit of it is filled. The vials I'll make a little lighter gray so we can see if there's any lines that need adjusting. Nope, I think we're good. Okay. Now let's do the favorite thing that I like, add the black background. Nope, we still need to fill in her white teeth. I have always messed that up. Let's do... Okay, now let's fix that to black. There we go. Now we got a proud Alphys design. Now we're going to work on shading. Now this is going to be probably the longest part of the drawing because shading usually takes the longest because you work on lighting, you work on texture, you work on a more variety mix of things. And also with the fact that I've never drawn Alphys, and I'm still trying to work on getting better with clothing designs, this definitely will take a little longer. Also, I do agree with like the canon idea that friggin' Alphys has like thick thighs or something like that. I don't remember exactly the whole mention of it, but I do agree that it should be canon. CJ Taylor, love your art by the way. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, CJ. That really helps more than you know. Hmm. Alrighty, I understand you gotta go. Take care. Yeah. If y'all have any questions for me, just feel free to ask. My dogs are barking in the background. They probably hear somebody outside. I was gone for 10 minutes. How did how to get that much better? It's the certain brushes that I use. I use certain different types of like blending brushes in order to work with shading and blending to make it look somewhat like fabric, and some other pieces like the rest of her body is going to be scales. That is going to be one of the bigger challenges. But no, with a little bit more shading and the lighting, it'll all come together. It all just takes a little practice. But no, since her coat is almost done, I'll get started on the tail first, because I want to use the tail as like an experiment of how I'm actually going to do either scales or certain shading for her skin. Because I do want to make it realistic, but I don't want to make it too realistic. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all. That probably does, but I'm rambling. Oh, her teeth are so cute to me. Yeah, she does have little buck teeth, even in her original design. But that's also what kind of gives her the little lisp. And also in the game, There are no major like speaking parts, like no characters actually speak, but they do have the little I guess like glitching sound effect when they speak. So it's not actual voices, it's little pixelated noises. But hers is kind of like high pitched and a little bit distorted, which I kind of find really cute for her character because it makes it sound like she's nervous and stuttering all the time. Also, in her whole thing, she is a huge little anime nerd and loves the different types of anime shows and games. But she does help you throughout the game, and I do like that about her character. I might actually use this brush. This is grade brush is what it's called. Adds kind of like a spotted effect. Kind of reminds me of Freckles a little bit. Ooh, I like that. That actually looks kind of good. I'll be adding more details into it later, but I'm going to use that for the general look. I'm going to test it over here. I really do like that. That actually looks really cute. But I will make that smaller. Curious as to what this looks like. I might do it without the highlight. I think that without it, it's fine. Haven't played the game, and she's already my favorite. Yeah, she's a pretty cool character. I really do like her as a character. I'm trying to think of what else about her should I say. She's a famous scientist. She is the creator of one of the characters, which is Metaton, which is like a robot made with metal and magic. That's one of the questions in the game. But she never leaves the lab, and she's usually kept to herself. I'm trying to think what else. She does help the character on their journey. Jeez, I'm trying to think. Like, she is a cool character. I absolutely love her, but we don't really see her that much either. And a good thing is about in the game that you can't kill her. That is one thing I did love about the whole idea in the game, is that she can't be killed. Gotta give her the little white for her eyes. can adjust this a bit to match that one. And here's a little trick. So you can take the same color as the actual lens, you can fill that in, and then you can dim it. So actually it will look behind the glasses. And then within that, underneath it, on the actual eyepiece, you can do white to where you can add a little highlight in the eyepiece to make it look like it is lighting up, or at least is reflecting. And then fill that in, and there you go. That's an easy way to fix over layering, especially when it comes to glasses and stuff. I do recommend it. What's her personality like? Ignore my horrible grammar. Oh, you're all good. You don't have to worry about grammar here. Fluffy, thank you for joining in. It's great to have you. Raymond, yeah, it's all coming together. Indeed it is. She's really nervous, really not talkative, unless you actually talk about an interest that she's in. So, like when you talk about anime with her, she is all head over heels for it. She'll listen, she'll talk about any part of it, anything at all. But more or less, she likes to be kept by herself and do her own thing most of the time. But she's really creative, always inventing new things. But no, the music in the background is also a somewhat remake of Toby Fox's original music for the game. So if you do like that, I do recommend checking out the playlist. I'm actually really liking how this brush is working out. been seeing that for a little while and it started to aggravate me. There we go. I love the fact she has horns. It's so cutesy. The only flex I have in life is Spotify Premium. No, I get that. Horns are so cutesy. Yeah, her little spikes. Her little spikes. I liked that they added the spikes on her head and not on her tail, because her tail is usually out of sight most of the time. So it would have been absolutely no point into adding those. But no, I'm glad y'all are liking how it's coming out. I will be doing more off the stream once I get the basics down, including the background. Because then I will be posting this later, either tonight or in the morning. I know. I will in fact subscribe. So don't worry, I'll be watching all your videos. Oh, thank you so much. Can everybody still hear me? Is everything going okay? Sometimes I get these issues, but I'm never sure if they're actually fixed or not. Can sometimes be a bit of a problem. Yes, it's still working. Alrighty. Okay, I was having some issues earlier with it last stream, and it kept disconnecting and reconnecting. So I do apologize if that happens on this stream. Also just realized I have a pink stain on the corner of my bed in the shape. Yeah, the last time I did pink painting. Okay, I'm glad the audio is working. Because sometimes it does cause issues. I don't know, you might be tripping. Let's give this a try now. And her actual lab is like more of like a dark, really dark teal. So I'll do that. When the audio is good, but the art is amazing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, audio has always been an issue whenever it comes to streaming. No. Since her dress is polka dots, I'm tempted to do a polka dot background. What do y'all think? Should I do it or should I not? Because to an extent, I could do something like that. Actually, let me remove the Alphys references from my screen, and I can do something like this with it. How are y'all liking that? Because I could do something like this. Making it look like it's glowing or somewhat. Why does the YouTube chat show up so late? It's also because just the chat alone is delayed. Oh my god, polka dot background. Okay. Because I can do kind of like the techno, kind of, or technological, like hexagon background kind of style. Yeah, no, that's all just because of the delay, and it happens a lot. But no, if you don't want that, I can try and find, let me try and find my polka dot one, because there's the small ones, and then there's the bigger ones that have, I'll do white so y'all can see it better. Here's the polka dots for the background. And her dress, yes, does have white polka dots, but I can always dim it. But what are we thinking? I feel like it looks more lively with the teal and more sciencey hexagon thing. Gotcha. Alrighty. Okay, away with the polka dots, and hello to the techno. I'll turn that up a little bit so we can get that detail in there. I can adjust this more. Let me go to the design for this again. And I'll do all black for right now, and I can adjust how I want that. With the blue. You know what? I'll let y'all pick. What color should the somewhat hexagon pattern be? Should it be that teal, and should I just adjust the lighting of it a little bit? Or what do you think? What do y'all think I should do? Because we already have the glow around Alphys, and I can always dim that to be different. I can actually do a soft glow of it and dim it a little bit. And underneath that, I've always done this before. I can do a more whiter shade, lower the opacity, and I can actually make it look like, at least around the vials, like it's glowing. It's always a fun effect to do, especially when you have the special effects. So what color should the background be? Oh, it's so good on God. If you like the original, I like the original if you know what I'm talking about. I'm so bad at explaining. Okay. Gotcha. Sorry, y'all, if you hear my dogs. They're going crazy right now. Mm. Okay, y'all, we're nearing the end of the stream. Since I was only going to be on for a little bit of an hour. I keep changing my mind. The glowing, I was not gonna lie, I keep changing my mind. I'm an indecisive person, to me if you do not agree. No, I agree with you. I do agree with you. I do think it would look really cool. I'm just gonna work on little bits and pieces of this right now. But I'll definitely do a redraw of this eventually. But for right now, I think it'll be fine as is. I know, I'm not gonna tune any of my viewers out. I really appreciate y'all's support. Well, I'm gonna go there. It is beautiful. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you being here, Summer. You have a good rest of your evening. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I think I'm gonna call it for tonight as well. here's what we got so far. Anywho, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night for whenever y'all are viewing this. It really helps out the channel if you like, follow, share, and subscribe. Really appreciate you all, and have a good rest of your day.